Hey you guys, it is the 11th of August and I just got back from summer vacation. So I've been gone for almost a month and the garden has had a lot of time to go wild. And the chickens are going crazy. I just let them out and so we might be hearing them reorient or reconnect. But I wanted to pause here in the shade. I'm hiding out in the shade and just kind of talk and recognize that August energy of slowdown here in Houston, how different it is from, other places. I was just out in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and even though it still gets pretty hot there just isn't the same level of run and hide and just stillness that comes from these really hot sunny days. So we're going to be seeing the garden a little bit on the dry side. It was super fortunate that we got a really big rain event like in the middle of the time that I was gone. Otherwise things would have seemed a lot worse. So even though the surface of the soil is dry and a lot of the insects are struggling to find water, the plants here in the garden, they're doing well. They have their roots deep and the chickens do eat up the mulch and make a little more pressure there, but there's still a good bit of mulch to keep the moisture in. So I'm just going to take you guys out on a quick tour just to see it in its wild state. I will definitely be coming in the next couple of weeks and doing a lot of cutting to just reclaim paths and things like that. And I know, every permaculturist has read, chop and drop when the water's coming down, when the rainy season is the best time to do that rather than the dry, because there is a brittleness to this time of year and a sort of a need to be still and rest and not be pushed to grow. And so I'm not going to be making big cuts like tree trimming and big redirections with anybody. I'm just talking about clearing the paths again, and I am going to mow because it's been a long time. So that kind of maintaining sort of the hardscape aspect of it, that's more what I'm talking about coming back in and doing. All right, so here is our jungle and busy bees, busy insects. A lot of citrus has fallen since I've been gone. Can't even cross this path, so it's definitely a jungle. This blueberry though, has just been on rainwater in this wicking bucket. And it is wilting out right up here at the top there. But that's the quick fix. We've got some salvia. The Victoria Red is going to be dropping seed, and I will probably come in and cut that out. I don't need more of it. I hear some chickens over here. So yeah, just that little stretch was so hot, and then to come into this space, this is one of the cooler spaces. Some newer things. I think you saw the Gynuras starting to grow in the last video. That's a new planting. And then right here, this is a kiwi, hardy kiwi, and it's found the little string I gave it, and then it found the tree right here, and it's really tight, but we'll see if it goes up into the top of that pine tree and get to see how the bananas and the tropicals really love the summer. And we just missed the figs, so it was full of figs when I left, and it looks like there's not much left, but turmeric loves the heat. There are just some plants, some species that are just so much better for this hot weather. We've got the jujubes, and I'm ready to eat this one. I don't mind them a little green, and some of these splitting maybe from that big rain. So we'll get jujubes soon, and that'll be fun. Here's a change. So this was all covered in Mexican gherkin, and some kind of caterpillar has eaten every leaf. We're gonna get good seed on the perilla. I've done a good bit of work back here. This is the main area, and this is also, I moved these myself. I placed them myself. I don't know if you can kind of see what I was going for, but yeah. And here comes Piper. Hey little lady. Yeah. And avocados I was already picking a couple when I left. So, oh man, here we go. There's not many left, but I'm going to take them now. They could all come down and counter ripen. But yeah, so I missed a few of the avocados for sure. There's definitely a few more up there, but not many. We had some, so I can see the seed, I can see the remnants right down there. I definitely will collect seeds. I think growing them from seed is the way to do it. Over here we have a really nice indicator plant. So the Mexican milkweed is letting us know that the soil is dry, and the bees are, look really strong. There's definitely some good momentum because I know about when they reset. So just a big old jungle. There's a mayhaw back here. This will be one to check. So we're heading back into like the back 40, the the real unmaintained part of the garden. And it is still kicking it, but barely. Having some major check-in dieback, and this is just, no water in the middle of the summer. So I'm gonna bring this one some buckets. This one was a transplant from a friend. But yeah, you guys don't see back here. There's actually, see the giant bamboo? That's getting established. That's kind of cool. This is just, a freebie, but that's a pretty nice cane. It's just kind of sat, and we've had some mild winters. So yeah, other cool things. That's a hunting hawk circling the chickens right now. That does not feel good at all. I might put up some new chicken line, fishing line protection. There's still water in the pond, which is pretty cool. Must have gotten a real big rain. So that'll be nice for the ducks to play in and the bees for drinking. Maybe some ripe passion fruit. Here's another big one. Kind of flopped over. So yeah, passion fruit is definitely loving the heat and the mild winter from last year. So it's definitely taken over the garden. And same with the elderberry. So like here, see that, or right here. Elderberry, I had ripe elderberries a month ago before I left. And here are the new birdies. So let me introduce you to them as part of this video. So these are the new flock, the new birdies. From left to right, we have a Polish named Silk. Then in the middle, the white one is an Easter egger named Hoot. Oh my gosh, so dirty. So that's a name rerun. Then the one that just sat down is Macuna, and that's a cream Brabanter. And then the beautiful bird walking off is a silver-spangled Spitzhauben, and her name is Diamond. So you have Diamond and Silk, and then Hoot and Macuna. And the birdies are staying in the same cage they were raised in. So right there with, everything, they're used to sleeping on that bar. They're going to go back into that really well, and it's really secure. So it's got a fine hardware cloth. So they're sleeping in the same spot, but they're getting all this interaction with the other big birds. They were getting face to face through the fence just a little bit, and that's the real thing, to just give them a gradual interaction, and then after a couple weeks of this, we're going to move the birds at night and put these little birdies on the roost bars up there in the coop with the others, so they wake up together. And that will hopefully help seal the deal for a smooth transition. And the ducks really like hanging out with the chickens. Now that the gates are open, the ducks usually come in here. They really like to drink back there where Fern is drinking from the nipples, and eat their food and all that. So George kind of likes his flock. He likes hanging out with the ladies. So let's see if we got any eggs. All right, see you later. So those are store eggs, and maybe we have an egg in the works. we've got a garden totally turned over to the Mexican gherkin. There's, you know, I see a cucumber flower here in the middle and lamb's quarter, but just really left to the wild of the wilds. And still tomatoes, not that they're going to be that great. But yeah, that's pretty good for August. I have a feather bucket. It's always, you know, there's sometimes some really nice feathers. So just tons more elderberry. Definitely got to make more syrup. So this is just a good practice as far as seeing, you know, mobile blueberries means you can stash them in the shade for the summer. This thing would be dead as a doornail if I had left it where it was. Hey Scarlett, right here in the hot sun, dead as a doornail for sure. Those are new grafts on pecan growing out. And let's just jump through here real quick. Got loofah that was supposed to climb this ash and is kind of, the ash tree fended it off a little bit. That's interesting. Look at the dryness. Wilting cassava. That means dryness for sure. Gonna be a nice year for some oranges. We have so many figs. I don't know if I documented that well, but this tree is a beast. Scarlett's gonna follow us around. The grass over here are dead. That's a bummer. So these were grafts that had taken and have died. So that's unfortunate. Part of the harshness of summer. What else to show you? This papaya tree. I did not plant this at all. I don't even know where it came from. I mean, obviously a seed. And if the bees will let me get close, we've got a lot of falsa that's ripe. So you can get the real deal official taste test kind of energy. Let's see. This probably looks like the best one right here. Maybe a little underripe. So, a little sour. So it's like super sweet and sour, but this tree is nothing compared to a good mulberry. I'm just like, don't grow falsa. It's all a gimmick. And maybe there's a cultivar, so maybe my tree just stinks. But I've definitely eaten more than a dozen now and never had anything that was exceptional. It just has like a, you know, that tingly, you know, sherbet, but like a little bit of an acidity that makes it like that. But I might go pick a few others and at least get something out of it. But that tree needs to go. You got to be judicious. So more failed grafts. That's a bummer. Can't even see. Sorry about the sun. I make crummy videos. But here's some grafts that are still holding on. You know, whatever this is. Florida King, Clara Rosa is still good, and for sure Tropic Snow. I did a bunch of it, so that's all still good and going. A sea of moringa. It's hot. All right, so over here we've got the yam going up into the persimmon, which is not allowed. I'm gonna rip that out. We've got persimmon grafts to check on, and I see one is good. That branch, I got to get the yam out of it. We've got a blueberry with Major Dieback. I was afraid of this one. So this was the transplant that I did pretty late. This is actually not a huge deal because I can get water to it right now, but this whole branch has been dropped. But there's, you know, green leaves there, and there's still some green leaves in the center. But yeah, I was definitely not thinking leaving it unshaded. I could have thrown a shade cloth over the top. It would have been much happier. Gotta fend our way through this jungle, past this pineapple guava, duck under the moringa in order to make it over here, where we've got apparently some bees with I don't know what they're doing up there. But no passion fruit. Actually, I see a couple figs. That's definitely Breva crop. And more falsa. We've got some grafts here that took. The labels blew off, but I do know that it's going to be a type of Satsuma. Just trying to keep my grafting organized. So this is, you know, a Satsuma, and so I think Dobashi Beni is one I put on. And so if they can keep putting a lot of growth into there before winter, that'll be great for those two. And a lot of growth on this Sunburst Mandarin. The glare is, you can't see it, but put on a foot, and it's trying, like it's getting bad leaf miner because of it. Some citrus knows better, you know, knows to wait. I put this super on top of this colony right before I left. So if they fill up 5 boxes, good for them. I just had to stop videoing because the GoPro said it was too hot to continue, and I couldn't agree more. So I wanted to share that in Houston it gets so hot that the cactuses wilt and get sunburned. So it's pretty intense. Brand new colony as of this morning. Not sure how they're gonna do. And lots of changes to see. So hopefully nobody finds that for another few weeks. Tall grass ready for a mow. There's a bird's nest. Oh, an angry bee following us too. Mainly I'm taking y'all back here for, oh, there's a kitty. The avocado tree. There's some big Cara navel oranges, but this is what I was really hoping for. And I really think I might take it now. I don't know, maybe I'll leave it and chance it. Let me, oh, there is others, okay. There's another one right here. So, I know this one. I'm gonna take the other one. I feel like it's more vulnerable. See if I can counter ripen my first avocado. All right, so here it is. I'm gonna see if I can counter ripen the first avocado from the seedling tree. I do think it was seedling from Fantastic, so that I'm not waiting for it to turn black. It doesn't look like it was heading that way, but you know, that's the way to do it with avocados. You just gotta start checking and seeing if they can counter ripen, then they're ready enough. And the other tree, the opal, is already dropping fruit. So that's why I'm taking this one now. So over here, we've got a second fruiting on the Surinam Cherry, which is pretty cool. So you see the orange right there in front. Here's a ripe one, and beautiful. I've got a little bug eating on one side. Still good enough for me. And it looks like I've missed the fruiting because they're mainly on the ground. And still look eatable. And then up here we've got, that's the fruit set for the star fruit. There's another little cluster. Here's another little cluster. So hopefully those will be ripe right around Christmas before a freeze. If a freeze gets them, it gets them. Main thing is that August is a time to appreciate the canopy, you know, to really appreciate plants and what they do for cooling things off, temperature regulation. So yeah, it was a tour video, but also like, let's sit down and get philosophical for a minute and just recognize that there is no better way to cool the earth, climate change, you know, kind of energy reference, than to allow plants to do that, you know, to mitigate it and, you know, to moderate temperatures, humidity, all these things. Like, that's what plants do, and it's our, you know, dysfunctional relationship with them that's kind of something to look at. So maybe something else to consider rather than carbon credits or whatever. All right, not trying to get too political. But yeah, that was a quick tour. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.